Hello, I'm Dr. Jeff Gold, and I truly have the privilege of serving as the 9th president here at the University of Nebraska. Today, I look forward to a conversation with Ms. Ann Barnes, and Ann has recently accepted the position to become the Interim Chief Financial Officer for the University of Nebraska System. In this role, Ann will help our campuses manage the university's $3.3 billion, with a B, operating budget. Ann will advise me, the president, and work closely with our chancellors, chief business officers, academic officers, and so many others, as well as policymakers, alumni, and a broad spectrum of those who make this university so successful. Ann has been the Vice Chancellor for Business Finance and Business Development at the University of Nebraska Medical Center since June 2022. And during that time, I worked very closely with her. Prior to her time at UNMC, Ann served as the Senior Dean for Administration and Finance at the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine for what I can't believe to be 25 years. Let's just say she has extensive experience in public higher education finance. I'm excited, really excited to talk with Ann today and introduce her to you as she shares more about her background and her experience. So Ann, thank you so much for joining us today and to do this video. I know it's very early on in your time here in Varner, but I thought I would start off just by asking you a little bit about your career journey. Where did you start? I know we'll talk a little bit about your educational background as well, but 25 years in public higher education is a long time, and that's more than just a career, but that's a passion.
Thank you for having me. So I will go back to the beginning. After graduating college, I worked for a small accounting firm right out of school and did a lot of...
So you are a certified public accountant?
I am a certified public accountant, and for a long time did small bank audits, some compliance audits and things like that, and found myself traveling a fair amount and decided that was really not the lifestyle for me. And so at the time had a good friend that worked at the University of Oklahoma Health Science Center. So they indicated that they had a position available in their internal audit department. I knew nothing about the campus, and so it was one where I said, well, it's a good opportunity. Let me see about this. So it was a great opportunity to come to campus and learn all about the campus. So not only administration, which internal audit was a part of, but to actually do audits in several of the different colleges to kind of get a feel for what each of them was about. And so after doing that for some time, I actually went down to the Norman campus, the undergraduate campus, for a very brief period of time, and then they reached out to me and said, would you please come back to the Health Science Center? We have a position in the College of Medicine that we would like for you to take. So I did that and started out, really in more of a pure budget and finance type of position. And as you know, in a lot of organizations, if you do one thing well, you get to do many, many more.
I've seen that happen.
Yes, so over a long period of time, took on a lot more responsibilities within the college, but also, had that connection with the campus as well. So for instance, we went through the implementation of a new ERP system many, many years back, and they wanted end user experience involved in the implementation team. So we helped set up the PeopleSoft system for the university, and it stayed engaged with that team as well. So one of the things that I did that was a little different was I actually was also responsible for faculty affairs in the college. And so with that, worked very much with their provost office and came up with, policy changes, helped rewrite, promotion and tenure criteria. So a lot of things that were not typically just in the accounting or business and finance realm, but over all those years went through a lot of different aspects of campus life. So really, really exciting opportunities were provided.
So one of the things that our audience may not appreciate is that this role is not just purely finance, as you've just described in your background, but it's also a lot about economic development and business development. Maybe you talk a little bit about that, and maybe some of your experiences over the last 2 years that might put a little color around those those decisions?
Sure. So, as you know, at UNMC, that is a role that was a little bit new to me, but I've enjoyed it so thoroughly. We really look at the opportunity to take some of the things that we do every day in the labs and at the bench side and find ways to commercialize those. So some of this is not only taking some of the tech transfer that we've always had going on, but actually building an environment where that can actually flourish. So for instance, we have the Catalyst building that we will have a ribbon cutting coming up very shortly. But that district, the development of that and having the opportunity to not only find ways for our faculty that have an entrepreneurial bent to find a way to not only take their technology and commercialize it, but find like-minded people to work with and potential startup opportunities and things like that. So really excited about the fact that we have 25% of that building. So whole building is about 160,000 square feet. And it's going to have everything, from office space to retail space, but really focusing in on creating this incubator type innovation hub. We've recognized over time that our impact on the community is significant, and we want that impact to be even more so with a further economic development. UNMC is not going to be the only one that participates in this. So we've reached out, we've talked to a lot of the other innovation groups, Innovation Campus here in Lincoln, as well as some of the other Omaha, for instance, the Millwork Commons area. We want to really start building more of a mindset of a consortium of things that are going to draw companies, draw people to the Nebraska area who have an interest particularly in med tech startup opportunities. The core building, being one of our other projects that we're starting to see steel come out of the ground, is really going to be exciting.
Quite a bit of steel, I've noticed.
Quite a bit of steel. Because we know that right now there's just not enough opportunity for people who need wet bench research types of space for startup companies to do that in the Omaha or even Lincoln area. So by making some of that space available, so we'll meet our needs there at UNMC, but also be able to provide that to the community. And again, have retail space within that building.
Well, the whole package of this responsibility and this job is critically important because the state, of course, depends upon us for educating Nebraskans, and workforce development depends upon us for our research and science, but equally for economic impact. Right. We are either the largest or one of the largest employers in the state, depending on whether you count our clinical partners. We have a huge economic impact and a large percentage of the gross domestic product of the state. And when we talk about what the future of the state's going to look like from an economic stability perspective, from a workforce perspective, and from a quality of life perspective, it always comes back to what's the university doing. Mm-hmm. And that partnership will be absolutely critical. Mm-hmm. So just to clarify for the audience, and it's my understanding that the University of Oklahoma College of Medicine does not have a football team, is that correct?
It does not have a football team. In fact, I don't even think it has a mascot. So, UNMC adopting the lab's mascot definitely was one step up.
Well, welcome to our team here at Varner. Thanks
you.
For being with me today.
Certainly.
Thanks for joining the team. And thank you so much for giving us a few minutes and giving me the opportunity to introduce Miss Ann Barnes.